Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Nobunaga's Ambition, Sphere of Influence on the Mysterious JG. Really bending over backwards. This is a rewarding the rewarders thing. I mean, the user Froxus Bant donated money to fight MS in Canada and presumably elsewhere. And I'm really trying to find a way not to have to, in character, with some headcanon that makes sense. I'm really trying not to have to put his officer, well, it could be her officer, to death. So let's see what happens. I'm also really trying to finish off. It's just by the skin of my teeth. I think I'm going to get Iwamura Castle. But, without Shingen having to personally take it. But if he does, then so be it. The main thing would be, oh, they don't have any prisoners. I may have lost prisoners with some of those other units getting defeated, actually. But no, we're not going to have her return to base yet. She's just hanging around. She's touching. She's not. Her troops aren't running out of food, but they are using food every turn because they're hanging around outside of a city. But we're kind of okay with it. Other objectives we've got here. I need to take Minoa Castle because it's a nice castle. The Uesugi will fight me for it. What I probably need to do, now that I've got the Hojo on my side, I probably need to take Umayabashi Castle and Numata Castle and then Minoa Castle. And then I've kind of cut off the Uesugi, and hopefully the Hojo will manage on their own to take out Yuki Castle and Oshi Castle, and, you know, it's basically get rid of the freaking Uesugi in the Kanto. Because I don't mind the Hojo taking over the Kanto now because they've established a permanent alliance with me. And they're not going to be able to be more powerful than me in the long, long run because they're not aggressive enough. And I'm going to be taking... I don't know the actual correct name of this plane here, but I'll be taking over where the Oda are and eventually taking over Kyoto. I'm not going to be outpaced by the Hojo anymore. They did not grow rapidly enough. I would have had a long-term loss of the Hojo if I had not had Okahazama trigger properly. Well, we had that other reality where I took over Inubiyama Castle and trying to keep the Oda alive. I was still on pace to beat the Hojo, but it all would have come down to I had to take out the Matsudaira and the Yamagawa because they've got good castles and good cities and the ability to maintain pace with the Hojo. You know, the Uesugi are surprisingly powerful considering how many castles they have that are just in like shitty mountain territory, but whatever. All right. Running low on food. All right, let me take care of this personally, if that's what it's going to take. So let me get my troops in here before you run out of food and starve. We're supposed to be storming, I thought. I guess it keeps not storming. I'm the field master. All right. I'll do it personally if I have to. And I've obtained the Blitz trait. And the Matsudaira Clan was eliminated by the Takeda. And even more impressively, I think this means that Shingen... Yes. So in my off-screen, oh, they barely survived. I'm really proud of you guys for holding it together. But they captured Motodoru Matsudaira, whatever Ieyasu's current name is. Now Shingen personally captures we're going back. Ieyasu, which I think is pretty cool. So he's heading home, and we're going to need to get some people to Imamura Castle, because I don't particularly want to lose it. It's not the end of the world if we do. We'll get it back. And the Matsudaira clan is still destroyed, and all those officers will still join us, even if some other clan takes over their old castle. But I don't particularly want to lose the castle, you know. We captured Hanzo Hattori and Ieyasu Matsudaira. Both guys that would be nice to have. I think we'll wait. I don't think we'll try to see if that changed anything. I think we'll just let the month pan out before we take another stab at getting Froxus to join. And from there, it's like, I think we need to wait for another harvest before I start making a lot of aggressive moves. Adjacent bases are growing due to road improvements. You can change the theaters and the stables. Kalan Owari-Sanada is now at the hotel just outside the city gates of Nakano, talking to Froxus Neelock, trying to figure out where her head is at. Think of your grandfather. Now is the time for decisive battle. Okay, where is this decisive battle taking place? Please tell me it's not at Iwamura Castle. It isn't. So even giving my life, I could not bind this land together. Besho clan's leader, Naraharu Besho, has died. Shigemune Besho has taken over. Uchinaga Udono has joined us. He will work wholeheartedly for the Takeda clan until he draws his last breath. Not like Froxus Neelock, that traitor. Of course, he's an Imagawa. Oh, but he did join. He joined the Tokugawa, fighting in battles such as Nagashino. So the actual historical guy here was an Imagawa retainer who joined the Tokugawa. So he worked for two different clans that we've basically conquered. And he's at Sunpu Palace. And he's pretty shitty, actually. His best skill is pole, where he is below average. Can't believe I've fallen ill. Well, I got the C straight. That's good.
Here's last month's balance.
Again, we're spending more than we're making, but I do not want to start selling food. Boys have come of age. Quite a few people have gathered at Sunpu Palace. Gift of horses. We got Ronin warriors. Now we will have here at Kaizu again. We've got. Oh, I think I figured this shit out off screen, maybe. I was trying to figure out. I was trying to think, why did I recognize a guy from Kaizu being a thing, and then I was like, oh yeah. I think off screen the Tada guy is sick. That's not good. Get this new shitty guy up there on the front line. I don't know why I'm putting shitty officers in this frontline city, but it's going to be a while before it's worth anything, unfortunately. Because I got no officers there to start the repair of the walls. Specialty. Okay, once again, I need to look this up. I think most of the time... No, that's not what I meant. Most of the time, it's not agriculture but commerce that has the best... Castle Fair and Trade. Oh no, Special Fair and Weaver I think were actually really good. I think Weaver is what I usually go for, isn't it? Makes districts suitable crafts? No. Special Fair. Population. Yeah, I usually go for Special Fair. Which they said was agriculture. Okay, so we'll make it an agriculture district. Even though it says it's better for crops, it's actually low quality. It's higher for crafts. But I like that population boost pretty good. No place else we can add anything. You know, I like Kabuki Theater. I think that was That was the son of the guy. I like Kabuki Theater. I think it was Katsuyori who was building that Kabuki Theater, or No Theater. He likes Kabuki Theater, but he prefers No Theater. And we really need to slow down our spending. Like, we really need to. We might want to try to do like a domestic year here. Let the Oda live another year or two. And just get our coffers rebuilt. Now, I say that, and yet our gold balance is probably really low compared to a lot of clans, especially the clans that just sit there and don't do anything. Which some of the clans that aren't strong enough to attack will just let gold and food pile up and not use it. But we're way down on the list here. Although we seem to be ahead of some clans that, yeah, Shibazu are bankrupt. Asakura are bankrupt. Oda are bankrupt. Satake, Azai. Okay. So maybe, but income-wise, yeah, we are the clan that brings in the most cash. I'm pretty sure we're the clan with the biggest harvest. Yeah. And, we got the highest soldier count by a considerable margin. We have the highest max militia. We have the highest max troops. We don't have the most horses, because again, the Nanbu are probably buying horses and not using a lot. But there are a lot of people with more muskets than us, because I basically ignored them, which is not usually recommended. But I'm trying to play this as the conservative Takeda clan who conquered the land with their cavalry. Anyway, let's throw down a save. It might be time at long last for Froxus Neelock to get her shit together here and join, because this is as long as it took when I was goofing around off screen, kind of quasi-save scumming, which I wouldn't normally do, but I'm sort of making an exception here. We can obviously win the game without having Froxus Neelock in our force, and we could obviously release her and still defeat the Oda and get her back later. I was just trying to find something that I could enjoy as headcanon. So let's have, let's see what happens. Froxus Neelock and Hanbei Takanaka. If we were going to get 2 officers, it would be nicer if we got 3 or 4, but if we were going to get 2 officers to defect, these would be the ones we'd want. Let's do Froxus first. What? No, I messed it up. Yeah. I guess I do have to hire both in one shot. And there is no quote where they join us. So we'll get something from Hanbei, not from Froxus, unfortunately. And we're not going to execute anyone. Acknowledged. My power is at your disposal. Also, allow me to present Froxus Neelock. He's like, I'd like to thank Froxus Neelock. She talked me into surrendering to the Takan. Because he's the one who captured her. And now it's like they're joining together. So, like, my headcanon can't be that she talked him into defecting, because we know that she wouldn't have done it without Kalan Owari-Sanada coming and speaking to her. But I'm saying at this point that they held meetings together and they agreed upon that as what they would officially state to Shingen, who knows better because his spies have told him what's going on too. But if he trusts that once she's returned to the fold, she'll be loyal, he'll accept this. And in a sense, he's willing to forgive Froxus Neelock because Froxus Neelock delivered Hanbei Takanaka to him as a willing servant to the clan rather than as someone to have to be executed or returned. Thank you very much. I won't forget this mercy as long as I live. Jiggle jiggle, because she's Princess No from Samurai. I guess the most recent Samurai Warriors game, they redid her a bit, but in like the first 4 Samurai Warriors games, she's basically like slutty pinup girl, Princess No. All right, well, there you go. So let's move Froxus Neelock to... Let's get her as far away from the Oda as we can. So she's going to come to Kaizu Castle, which just lost a decent officer anyway. Hold on, let me take a look at these castles. There's see, this is what's annoying. It's tough to actually go in, and I have no domestic points left. I want to say that Toishi Castle is the one that can really grow big. It's already at 77,000 hit points. It's got 3 districts. Well, then maybe it's this one. Three districts. I think that's how many I currently have. But yeah, we want Froxus away from the Oda, for sure. So let's transfer her up here and have her helping Toishi Castle. Oh, meanwhile, we got some guys here who really should be doing more, like, Lita's grandma's been stuck back here for a while. Although Lita's grandma was probably part of that big battle. I shall be on my way to Toishi Castle. And then by that same token, let's get Kaizu Castle. They can get Hanbei Takanaka. I don't particularly want him up there fighting the Oda either. Though his poll isn't that great. He's more of a military officer. Alright, so let's take a look at our officers now. Required loyalty 1, and she's at loyalty 14. Good that we can do what we want. My lead Shingen and I create the same kind of world. Yeah, like she was at a 5 out of a possible 20 with the Oda. She's at a 14 out of 20 with the Takeda, and yet she had to have her arm twisted. So, you know, Froxus, have fun in the comments, but my pitch is that she thought that because she joined the Oda that it would be dishonorable to her family to switch again, and Kalan Owari-Sanada had to arrange a way that she could be returned to the clan honorably by bringing Hanbei Takanaka over to the clan, and that would be the way that she could return to the clan with honor. And that all of this had to be done in secret meetings, outside of the city walls, in, you know, an inn in the village. All had to be done in such a way that there was no formal contact with Shingen until the plan had been arranged. Because once they spoke to Shingen, Shingen would be duty-bound to punish her for her disloyalty. They had to come up with sort of a plan that made her disloyalty into a you know, a plan to serve the Takeda. And that way Shingen could go, of course, I knew all along that was your intention. I never doubted you. A very Eastern Bushido kind of thing, honestly. There's a lot of that kind of stuff going on in Three Kingdoms era, which is not Bushido, obviously, and in Sengoku Jidai. I don't know if I communicated it properly, but I'm pretty happy with this idea. That Shingen did not want to have to put her to death, but he would have had to put her to death if she had been asked at the wrong time and her honor forced her to say no. So they had to come up with some political chicanery to time the question so that she could answer without damaging her family honor. And Shingen would therefore not damage his family honor by showing her undue mercy when she had broken the code. So I'm actually pretty good with all this. And now things are actually going to really calm down for a while because we just need to slow down spending, and it is expensive to conduct constant war. Our next goal really should be Sakurabora Castle, and I'm going to be tempted to try and take that, actually. Because they don't got much. The main problem will be if we draw in interference from other clans. And honestly, I don't think much of us gaining their trust will be difficult. Can we work on them? Nah, it's going to be really inefficient. Well, let's work on the Uesugi, or the Hojo, rather. He's not the most efficient, but I guess he's the best we got, unless I want to pull an overseer off of their job. So we'll spend a little bit getting trust up with the Hojo, because that will allow us to actually manipulate their behaviors somewhat. We can have them, you know, we can get them to help us with attacks and vice versa. Or rather, not vice versa, like, order them to do attacks and ask them to help us fight off attacks and whatever. So we at least need to let, like, Kiso, Fukushima Castle, and the problem is I don't want to pull too many troops away up here because the Uesugi have gotten really pretty squirrely. But if I could get Uehara Castle, Tokado Castle, and Kiso Fukushima Castle's troop counts back up, without really waiting for another harvest necessarily, I could probably march on Sakurabora Castle. And what's going to be a question is, who do these guys have diplomacy with? They are allies with all those clans to the north. Which means that I would end up probably having these guys, who don't have any force anyway, fuck them. But I'd probably have to fight off... Well, no, I'd have a bunch of really weak clans angry at me that probably can't stop me, but we definitely need to slow down and let our economy start to heal a bit here. Alright. Let's go. Oh, hey. We've probably got... Yeah, we've got bases we've taken over that we never surveyed. Not quite as many as I thought, actually. Alright. Well, there's the rest of our money gone. Roxas Nelox arrived. Mimuru clan is eliminated by Origami clan, the guys who fold paper. That would be Origami clan, I do know the difference. The Oda are returning to base because they were basically hanging around. I can't imagine why they'd be afraid we might attack them, possibly because we've already taken over a bunch of... But as you can see, that road work is already paying off. These icons all indicate that the bases are improving. I've gained combat eyes. Combat eyes.
Orders.
Something you can't deny.
Here's
I think I got the words to that song wrong anyway. All right.
Reporting in.
I looked around in the castle, couldn't find anything. Great job, Ald. I mean, Lady Ald. And this guy couldn't find anything either, so all those castles suck. This is boring-ass villages, I guess. Seems a Ronin or two are in our lands. Alright. Well, if I keep hiring Ronins, I'm going to have to eventually look and see where I got too many officers. Guy's got a sweet hat, though. Definitely worth the hire. Alright. It's a lot of money, but we kind of want those castles back in order. Alright, this is touching like 1 million districts, so we need to obviously go for the thing that's going to improve neighboring districts. Wait a second. Okay, I misread something. I was confused. You're a politician, which means I think you might do it on the cheap. There's a chance, so considering the little change... Yeah, we saved a little bit of labor. It's still going to take 2 turns rather than 1. It'll just be earlier in turn 2 that it tricks over, so... And I was immediately tempted to build castle improvements. That is just not a good idea right now. need to save money. You can see we got our troop counts back up in these castles we took from the Yoda. It's going to take a little bit longer in some of these other places. But we either need to get aggressive against the Oda quickly, so that these castles never become frontline castles, or I need to start improving these castles, because other than Okazaki Castle, which was pretty powerful because it was the main base of the Matsudaira, these castles up here ain't really shit. So let's make sure that the right people are overseers at these places. You are the right person to be an overseer, because Hanbei is actually not that great as an overseer. But no, you need to be the overseer here, not this lesser Sanada. I don't know why it would be you and not Yukitaki anyway. But Froxus Nilok is going to get back into the business of running cities and not getting captured and changing sides. A little surprised that, kind of surprised that we can't do anything at Kunamine Castle. This is a place we need to, be working on because it's front line. Alright. Now, so can we just not bankrupt ourselves while waiting for the harvest? I mean, I could sell a little.
What would you like?
Let's see. We have 43,000. What is our harvest? 87,000. I think if we sold a little food now, just to keep things afoot, we would be able to survive the next couple of months without getting attacked.
Thank you very much.
Because we're not so low on food that we couldn't march in our own defense anywhere. But this basically has sealed the fact that we're not going to be attacking for a little bit. Alright. The Zawa clan has been eliminated. Fresh trooper. Vulture has become a politician. She's not a warrior. She's a politician. What are we doing with these captives? Well, I'm not safe scumming. Oh, well. Here we go. Shingen has come home with the entire Matsudaira conglomerate here. And Kaiji Maeda, who will not be defecting. The Oda clan's still alive. And, well, I'm unable to serve a new master. Kaiji Maeda, as he was portrayed in the Samurai Warriors games, is like, he's nuts. He wouldn't really care that much about being loyal to the Oda. He was like defecting all the time just because it made things interesting. But I don't know how accurate Samurai Warriors was in capturing this guy. But we will be getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it was 18. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I guess more, or I miscounted. But we're getting a lot of guys. 19 guys, yep. 19 new officers. And Kalan Owari-Sanada shaking his head. It is not easily that the leader of a warrior house bows his head. I'd like to request time to think. Alright, well, why don't you go talk to, you know, Kalan Owari-Sanada was able to convince Froxus Nilok to join. Why don't you talk to him? You guys seem like you could be good friends. I shall gratefully serve under you. I'm Kiyonaga Koriki. I'll remember your name and return the favor. The Iwaki clan was limited by the Date clan. And it's tempting to give the Matsudaira back their lands, actually, but we'll have to check and see what the officer loyalty looks like. There will be penalties at first, because they'll be like, aren't you our sworn enemies? Didn't you just defeat us?
Your orders?
Templar.
Here's last month's balance.
Alright, so selling all that food.
Reporting in.
Training is paid off. I'm awesome now. Don't really know what the Uesugi have up here. I want to take Saito Castle. That's the next objective, to get those officers. Then it kind of depends on what mood strikes me. We should be attacking the Oda, but we should also be trying to get some revenge on the Uesugi. And if we don't want the Hojo expanding north, which we kind of don't, we probably want to take over Umabayashi Castle, Minowa Castle, Numata Castle. And it would be nice if the Hojo started attacking the Uesugi cities down here. Although I don't think the Uesugi are going to get froggy with Kunamine Castle now that the Hojo are allied with us. Although they might. They wouldn't be able to march out of Oshi Castle, Yuki Castle, and Iwatsuki Castle. But they could decide to attack. Because they do have apparently higher troop counts than we do over there. Like they've kind of pushed their front lines down here after not really doing very well trying to attack Toishi Castle and Kaizu Castle. Kaizoku Castle, the pirate castle. Now we could give... oh, I wonder, could we? Yeah, we could... oh no, I keep getting fooled. This is a fake. This is the fake... this is the body double of Ieyasu. I was about to say we could marry him into our clan. Tell you what, it's actually time to call it a video. So let's look at our lowest loyalty guys. Once again, this guy is all... Oh yeah, I forgot to make a joke. Froxus Neelach was one of the reasons she didn't like the Odas because they're progressive. So I'm assuming she saw Drag Queen Story Hour in a Oda city and just got really disgusted. But yeah, I want Grimmeth and Yojiro Bayuchi, just by virtue of being really persnickety, just, you know, they're millennials. It's like, I demand to be praised constantly, so they're never that happy because you've got to constantly tell them that they're special. But these other officers, I would assume that these guys... Yeah, my lead Shingen and I hold different views of the nation. That's surprising. So these aren't... Isn't Takeda Clan my sworn enemy? Isn't Takeda... Yeah, so we're seeing the guys from... We're seeing... The only guys who are really dissatisfied, other than the perennials, are the ex-Takeda guys. And even here, like Senehime shows loyalty and conduct, can be trusted as a retainer. She has low, as the female officers often do in this game, low requirement. But she was killed for colluding with the Takeda. She's been with us for a while. But, oh no, she hasn't. She was with the Matsudaira. She's in history, she's killed by Discord arose when he allied with Nobunaga Oda after Okazama, and he killed her for colluding with the Takeda. So, yeah, she was killed by her own family for siding with us, but in this reality, she was a loyal officer of theirs. Here's another one, just because her required loyalty, like, she's never really that happy. She's always kind of on the low list, like the list of fairly unhappy officers. Like this guy. He can show his loyalty, but he doesn't personally like Shingen. What is his deal? He's an Otomo, Shimazu. He just has exactly the wrong personality traits for Shingen, I think, because he's a Shimazu guy. Like, he wouldn't have had first-hand experience with Shingen. There's no story reason he would hate Shingen. Shaman Yamazaki's been pretty quiet in this LP. I think I just sort of lost track of where he was and haven't utilized him that much. But he's obviously Shingen's biggest fan. Zerfina Baldo. She is in Ansho Castle. She was doing a lot of... When I off-screen playing through the game while recovering from surgery, she did quite a bit, but she hasn't been getting into it too much here. I'm looking for, like, Hanzo. Yeah, this is his stepbrother, became his body double. So he's a good officer, actually. He's got really good overall skills. But I keep seeing his portrait and thinking that's, you know, someone he ain't. He admits strong loyalty. Active member of the Koshu Ninjas. And, she later returned to Suruga after Shingen forced Yoshinobu to kill himself. There's Elmandred of the Avatar. She's got 20 loyalty because, well, she's Lord of a Castle, although I'm not sure that that makes sense anymore. Her loyalty is so high, like I could give that boost to somebody else, but I mean, she's certainly done good service. Yeah, Kalan Owari-Sanada doesn't actually like Shingen very much. Like, he likes that we're a conservative clan, and he likes what we're trying to accomplish, but on a personal level, he thinks Shingen's kind of a dick. Meanwhile, Froxus is, again, happier than she ever was with the Oda. But she don't think she'll get along very well. Yeah, again, it's like, they just have, like, personally, she doesn't like Shingen very much. Neither one of them do, but it's like, hey, he's the best we got. You don't want that Nobunaga guy taking over. He talks like this. It takes far too long for him to say anything. And Hanzo, yeah, he's like Froxus. He's got that one required loyalty where he's supposed to be, like, impossible to get him to turn. Which is why I still don't understand why Froxus turned to the Oda to begin with. But these are it's good that we can take what we want, and I can agree with my master's way of, well, it's good that we can take what we want is a specific policy I have. I think I'll get along well, and I can agree with my master's way of doing things. Basically suggests he does personally get along. He's neutral, not conservative, but he does personally get along with the ideals of Shingen somehow, some way. So, alright, so we've gone over at this point, so we won't finish a domestic turn. We'll do that at the beginning of the next video. But now I should have, like, yeah, Tsuchigasaki Palace now has, like, 25 officers. So the next video will probably involve quite a bit of pushing these officers out to different places, trying to get Matsudaira officers maybe running the Matsudaira cities again. Or maybe I'll do something completely different. Maybe I'll put some really premium Matsudaira officers out here and try to make some advances against the Uesugi. But what we really need to do in the short term is take Sakurabora Castle. Because once I get those, like, almost 30 officers, my obsession with getting officers won't stop, but it'll actually be less important. Like, at that point, I'll have enough officers that I'll have very little chance I'll ever, like, not have at least 3 officers in every city. So we're going to call it a video. Oh, check it out. The, sorry, getting a new save slot set up here. Yeah, this video went way long. Didn't mean for it to. It happens sometimes. But we've now got a an island fortress of the Uesugi. They had to, I think they had to build that on their own. Like, I don't think this place starts with a base. I built one there with a date just for fun, but now there's and somebody was in the comments of an earlier video talking about, like, setting up a custom clan here and taking over from this small island. I don't know if you're allowed to do that. Yeah, this place, these islands don't actually have places to build from. This one might. It's got tribes on it. I wonder if you can actually build a castle over here. I'm curious. Doesn't matter, obviously. Yeah, we can't build because they're too far away from us. But there's enough little circles there that I would think if we were in that zone we could. Whereas here and up here there are no actual places to build. They're just decorative. Well, they're not decorative. They're meant to actually mark a map of Japan, but that is accurate. But these are not islands that are large enough to support a castle. You could probably put one here. Wah, 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 wah. It's not Okinawa, is it? I don't know where... I know Okinawa is... No, Okinawa is not mainland Japan, or is it? It's... Whatever. Alright, we've gone way too long. I need to stop, so I'm going to... As soon as I can change the input on my TV back to the PC where I control the recording software from. We'll catch you guys next time for the further adventures of Not Dead Froxus Neelock. Bye-bye.